with a plan to clean up City Hall. As Bass takes millions from every special interest, from big pharma to big polluters, Caruso's only special interest is cleaning up homelessness, crime, and corruption. Democrat Rick Caruso for mayor.
An exclusive hard hat construction tour of the largest sphere and display LED screen in the world being built at Venetian Las Vegas in TechSmart.
Monday at 5 a.m.
Now at noon, authorities are admitting that they made the wrong decision during their response to this week's deadly Texas school shooting. Thank you for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. There's growing concern over the length of time the gunman had inside the classroom where he shot and killed 19 students and 2 teachers.
Meantime, just days after the mass shooting, the NRA is holding its national conference in the same state. We have live team coverage this afternoon with Chip Yost at that conference in Houston. But first, KTLA 5's Karine Winter is live at the News Center with the latest on the shooting investigation. Karine?
Well, Glenn, the mother of that gunman is also speaking out today. She apologized on behalf of her son and begged the victims to forgive her. You'll soon hear her first public comments since the shooting. And earlier today, Texas officials admitted there were critical mistakes made in this case once officers arrived at the school that day.
A combative news conference as reporters shouted questions at the Texas Department of Public Safety Director Stephen McGraw, who was on the defensive about the response time by law enforcement officials. McGraw first admitted the gunman managed to gain entry to Robb Elementary School in Uvalde on Tuesday through a door that had been propped open by a teacher. That gunman then locked himself inside 2 doors of a classroom after shooting into the windows of the school. And that's when the 911 calls poured in.
It's better that I read it than you listen to it.
Still, those accounts were heartbreaking and graphic. One of the first calls was from a teacher at the school whispering that 8 to 9 students were alive. Then a call from a student.
Initial caller called back, student, child, called back, was told to stay on the line and be very quiet. She told 911 that he shot the door at approximately 12:43 and 12:47. She asked 911 to please send the police now.
McGraw confirmed that more than a dozen officers were inside the hallway. When pressed on criticism about the slow police response, McGraw admitted that it was the wrong decision to wait to breach the classroom door, as officers instead waited for more tactical gear to arrive.
It was the wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that. But again, I wasn't there, but I'm just telling you, from what we know, we believe there should have been an entry at that as soon as you can.
Officers didn't enter the classroom until critical minutes later after retrieving keys from a janitor. There are now calls by some officials for an FBI investigation into the response time. Some families are outraged by how this incident unfolded. Others say it's unclear how much of a difference it would have made with the shooter killing so many victims in such a short period of time.
How fast can you act? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made. If maybe they could have acted faster. That remains to be seen.
And new video this afternoon shows just how frantic parents were once they arrived at the school that day. They begged police to allow them on the school grounds, which had turned into a crime scene as officers escorted students out of the building. The mother of that teenage shooter also spoke out for the first time today.
No sé lo que estaba pensando. Él tenía sus razones.
Adriana Martinez Reyes, she told reporters in Spanish she had no idea why her son targeted the school, saying, "Please don't judge him. And to the innocent children who died, please forgive me and my son." Now, officials still have not determined a motive for the shooting. Lou and Glenn will send it back to you now in the studio.
All right, thank you, Karine. Well, just 3 days after the Texas massacre, the NRA is kicking off their annual convention in Houston today.
The event has set off a wave of protest in the city, and KTLA's Chip Yost is live in Houston with more. Hi, Chip.
Yeah, hey there, Glenn and Lou. Quite the contrast going on here in downtown Houston. Behind me is the convention center where the NRA National Convention is happening, and right over here is a large anti-gun rally. That was some of the scene out here in downtown Houston across from the convention